Present. Yes, good morning, all of you. Yes, Prince. Okay, so today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is how we will connect our Python with MySQL. We are having this very common topic in CS and IP both. Plus, why I'm saying it is very important, because see, ultimately what you are doing till now, you are making programs, but ultimately you are not able to store it in the secondary memory. Meaning of secondary memory is that means you are not able to store it permanently. Once your program is over, your all informations are gone. So therefore, whenever we are using any programming language, we must have the flexibility to store our information, because of which actually we are making our project or program permanently in system in any form. So in Python, we are having flexibility that we can store our data in multiple format. For example, you can create CSV file. For example, you can store it in the text file or in the binary file or in the MySQL. So it is your choice. But out of all these, no doubt, MySQL is your RDBMS. So it is considered as one of the best option to store your database basically. Fine. When we are storing some information in the form of database, that time MySQL with Python would be considered as one of the best option. Okay. We will be discussing other formats also, but that we will do later on, because you have to make your project. So I would prefer that you will go for Python with MySQL. Okay, you can select text file or binary file also, but in text file or binary file, you'll be not getting features of RDBMS. So therefore, MySQL is considered as better option. Okay, so the very first thing, see, there are few lines which are fixed, and there are few lines which we have to change according to our requirement. No doubt for this, you must know MySQL, SQL commands. SQL commands, we have already discussed whatever we need basically for this connectivity part. Okay, so, and I have already explained you that how you are going to install one library, that was mysql.connector. It was already explained. If you are still in doubt, you can see that particular video first. And still, if it is not clear, then again, let me know. I will sort out this problem with you. Fine. So the very first thing is, because you have already installed, I'm assuming that you all have already installed that libraries. So the very first statement will be import, then mysql.connector. So this is the first statement. Okay, once you are writing this, it means this library you have added or imported with your file. Now, once this is done, you need to set the connection between Python and MySQL. Now, for setting the connection, in this particular library only, we are having one function, connect. Okay, so I will be writing something like this, mysql dot connector dot connect is the name of the function. And now in this function, I need to pass total 4 arguments, where 3 are actually compulsory, 4th one is optional. So the very first argument I need to pass is the name of the host. Host name is basically where your MySQL is available, whether it is in the same computer or it is in the different computer. Fine. So see, we will be having MySQL in the same computer, so we will be using localhost. So for you all also, you are also going to use localhost. Then username. You cannot change the spelling. Remember this thing. User means user only you will be writing. Host means host only you will be writing. You cannot change it. So user, by default, when we have installed our MySQL, everybody's username is by default root. So again, it will be fixed whatever MySQL you are using. Then we have password. So for password, remember, it is PASSWD. It is not complete password. It is PASSWD is equal to then whatever is the password. For example, we are writing OLOPCS. Okay. So whatever is the password in your system of MySQL, that only you are going to write. Once this is done, even you can write here name of the database. After that, you can write database is equal to, suppose we have created 12 underscore CS. So this also I can pass as the argument, but this is optional. We will be not doing so because we are assuming that even database is also not created. So we are going to create database first of all, right? So this is also we are not doing. So bracket close. Now see, once you are writing this connection, this complete statement, it is going to create a connection and it will return the information. That information you need to store in any of the variable. Suppose I am storing in MyDB. So whatever connection you have established, so ultimately you have to store it in the variable. Let it be MyDB over here. You can change the name. It is your choice because this is nothing but the name of the database. Sorry, name of the connection. Okay, once the connection is established, now with this name only, we are going to use one more function and that function is cursor. Means now you have to create a cursor. So MyDB dot cursor. Actually, these 3 lines are fixed. Okay, once these 3 lines you will remember, then whatever is your MySQL command, that only you have to write. Okay, so my db dot cursor. So with this, you are going to create a cursor. Again, this cursor you have to store somewhere in the Python. So again, I'm writing my cursor is equal to my db dot cursor. So ultimately, your goal was to get the cursor name. So this is your cursor name. Now with this cursor will be actually responsible for taking your queries from your Python to MySQL. Even from the MySQL, it will fetch the information to back to your Python, because ultimately we want these two things. From here, we will send the information to Python, MySQL, and from MySQL, we will pass the information back according to our requirement. So for everything, now this cursor will be responsible. Fine. Now, once this is what you have done, now you can start writing your SQL queries. Now, how to write your SQL queries? The very first query or any query you wanted to write, it is compulsory. You are going to use the same variable cursor, my cursor dot execute is the name of the function. Now, everywhere we will be using this thing, execute, and in execute you can write anything. For example, I'm going to create any database. So I am creating one database, create database. Now see, this is same as you were writing in the MySQL. Create database, and then I am writing 12th project. Okay, I'm writing 12th project, and then I'm closing this. So see, it should actually execute this and it should show me the answer, right? So first I will execute this and we will check that how it is going to work. So suppose I'm saving this with try name and then I'm executing this. My second screen is visible to all of you or no?
No, ma'am.
It is not visible, right? This is what I was thinking. I hope now this is visible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now what you have to understand basically that it is working. It is not giving me any error, means it is working. Or I must write here something like in print statement that database created successfully or something like that. Now you see your database has been created. Now if you wanted to cross check, so we can simply write over here and we can cross check. For example, if I will be writing here show databases, you can see it is showing 12th PRJ. This is what we have done. We have created just now. Fine. If you will run this query again, you will get error message. Okay. As I said, once you have created, say, and see what is the error message, can't create database. And the reason is database already existed. So see, it means previously it was not created. So for first time, it will not give you any error, but second time it will definitely give you error. The reason is because it is already created now and we cannot create it again and again, or we cannot recreate it. Fine. So we have two options. Either we can drop this database, means before creating, we can drop this database, or because see, ultimately, if we talk about professional level, every time we are not going to drop the database and create the database. So what we have to do actually, we are going to write one more thing over here after create database, if not exist. These are some additional commands, but you have to understand these commands. Okay, now what is the meaning of if not exist means? If this database is not there, in that particular case only you are going to create the database. And I'm writing here one statement, print executed successfully. And remember, you have to do a lot of practice of this, because first time when you will be doing, you will be getting so many errors. And if you will not do this, then you will be facing problem. Okay, executed successfully. It means now it is not giving me error. The reason is, and remember, it is not going to create again and again. First it is checking, database was already there, so it will not execute this fetch command. Fine. Sorry, it is not going to execute this create database command. Okay, once this is done, in this manner only, now we are going to create the table. Now, before creating the table, what we are doing, first we are creating the database, then we have to select that database. So again, we will be writing my cursor. See, every time, whatever MySQL query you wanted to write, every time you will be writing this statement, my cursor dot execute, and then you are going to write use, and then 12th PRJ, and then close. So it means you have selected this database. Now you know the reason. Okay, once this is done, then we have to create the table. Now suppose I'm going to create one table. Again, my cursor dot execute. Okay, my cursor dot execute. Then we are going to write the create query. For example, create table. Then whatever is the name of the table. Now see, only for the understanding purpose, we are making one student table. Okay, you are also going to do the practice of the same. So suppose I am going to make student table, student, and then after this we used to write the values. If you will notice that I have written here 3 times double quotes. The reason is because I wanted to write multiple line statement. Fine. Otherwise, you will be facing problem when if the line will go beyond the screen. So create table student, then whatever information we wanted to write. For example, student ID, I'm writing SID only, integer type, comma, student name. Then it is of varchar type. See, same thing what you were doing in the MySQL. 25 suppose. Then I'm writing age of the student, again integer type. Then I'm writing average of the student, suppose floating point type, so that you will understand that how to use floating point informations. I'm writing here 5,2, and then one more I'm writing, that is date of admission. Okay, so that you will understand date type of information also, date type. This is closed, then triple quote closed, and then bracket closed. Now see, we will check this. Okay, because ultimately we have to check whether it is working or not. And remember, we are writing in multiple line only for the sake of understanding. Okay, otherwise in a single line also you can write. It is your choice whether in the single line or in the multiple line. This is completely your choice. Okay, now if I will run this program, one time it will work perfectly, and second time it will give the error message again. We will check this. For example, now I'm writing use underscore PRJ is my project, and you can say database changed, and then DSC of student. This is what I have created just now. So you can see this is the table which is created with whatever informations I have given over here. So it is also working perfectly. Fine. So, and if I will run the same program, I will get the error message. Anyone? What is the reason?
Ma'am, because once it has been created.
Yes. Again, with the table also, you are having the same problem that once the table is created, you cannot create it again. So if I will run this, again, I will get the error message. Now, and the problem is same, that the table is created already. So again, you are going to use the same logic, that is before creating this table, again, I'm going to use the statement if not exist. Create table if not exist, and then student. Now if I will run the same, I will not get any error message. It will work perfectly. You can see it is working perfectly. Fine. So you have to take care that you should not create your database multiple times, as well as tables you should not create multiple times. Okay, now once this is done, now see, I will not explain you all the things together. Today I will explain you very basic things. Then tomorrow means next working day, we will discuss that how we are going to make functions and how we are actually going to make the programs. So once the table is created, what we are doing generally, we are inserting the values in the table. So if you wanted to insert any value in the table, simply you will be writing insert clause over here. For example, I am writing here insert into student values. Then see all the values part. Values part, now all of you know. You can see from here, first is the SID. So I'm writing one SID. Now you have to write name of the student. We know the type of information. If it is varchar or date type information must be in the code. So I'm writing in the single quote. For example, I'm writing here name of the student James. Then after that age of the student 15. Then average of the student suppose 96.45 comma date of admission again in the single quote 2000 2011 01 02 anything fine. First we will check if it is working, then only we will be writing the next command. Fine. So see after this it is going to create the insert one record also. We will cross check this is not giving any error, and now here if I will be writing select asterisk from student. Okay. Now see, the problem is it is not showing you the answer. From there, that side I have inserted the value, but this side it is not showing the value. Okay. Now what is the reason behind this? Now you have to keep one more thing in your mind, that all your DML commands means insert, delete and update. After all these three commands, it is compulsory that you have to commit your query. Okay. If it is committed, then only it is going to work. Otherwise, it will not work. Now, the next question is how to commit. For that, with MyDB, once you have created the connection, remember? So with that only you are going to commit. You are going to use the commit function. Commit means to make this change permanent in nature. Remember, it will be compulsory for insert, update and delete. Okay. Now see, I will run this one more time. Now it will be inserted permanently. So you can see it is showing me the answer. So commit is compulsory. It means if you are not able to insert your query is correct, it means you have not used commit command. So it is compulsory that you have to use commit command. Okay. Now I'm going to insert 5 values in this. So simply copying and pasting. No doubt practically when we will be doing, we are not going to do like this. The reason is because we are not going to insert constant values. We have to ask the values from the user and then we have to insert. But this is because we are going to do for the first time. So we are learning actually how to do this. Fine. Achha, remember it is not compulsory that 5 times you are writing insert command. So 5 times you will be using commit command. No. Commit command after all your insert means wherever you want the information to be stored permanently, that time only you are going to write. So these are my 5 records. Then I'm inserting, changing the names. John, Alex, Jack, then Hannah. Then we can change the age 14, 13, 14 and 15 again. Fine. Then we can change these values so that suppose if we have to do any query, that time also we will be able to execute and we will be able to understand 96, then 90, then 66 and then 55. And let the date of admission be same, suppose. Okay, now I will run this. You will see something different. Let me know what is the difference. Suppose this is what I have executed and then see I'm getting my answer. Again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. I'm executing the same program. Now you have to tell me what mistake is going on over here.
Ma'am, it is again
So it is
setting
being
values.
repeated.
Yes, it is repeated again and again. The reason is because we have only written like that. Fine. From our side only what we have done, that we are only executing this, no? Again and again we are executing this command and we are saying to make it permanently. Now see, generally what we do, we write it in the function. So when we call this function, then only it will execute. But because right now we are doing practice, so what we can do, every time, because I don't want every time this to be inserted again and again. So whenever I'm going to create this is only for the temporary base. Remember this thing. So we are going to drop this table first. It means simply drop this table before its creation. So whatever previous information was there will be dropped. Drop table student. Okay, now you can see this executed successfully. And now if I will run, I'm getting 5 value. Okay, again if I will run this is what we have to understand. See, this is again but for the temporary base, working successfully. And if I'll execute it, you can see again 5 times it is showing me. So no problem, it is working properly. Means as per my requirement. Okay, then the next thing is, once this is done, then maybe we need to update and maybe we need to delete. So today we will discuss these two things also, how to update and how to delete. But remember, again we are going to discuss on the basis of constant value. You are going to practice today of all these things. And those students who wanted to do something extra, so they can make functions and then they can do. Okay, and otherwise no problem. So the next thing is, if I wanted to update something. Okay, what I wanted to update is, suppose I wanted to change the date of admission of John. Right now it is 2011-1-2. This I wanted to change. So query will be update. So see my cursor dot execute. Then we are writing update. After that we are writing table name student, then set whatever information we wanted to change. So date of admission is equal to, now see again I'm repeating, everything we are assuming as a constant value, but later on we will discuss how to take from the user. So 1211 only, but 99 I am taking. Okay, then after this what we are doing, we are writing where clause, where name is equal to s name is equal to John. Okay, and we have to close these three triple quotes first. Now once this is done, we need to commit this. As I said, it is compulsory to commit. So I'm just copying and pasting this. And this is how you will do delete also. Executed successfully. And now if I will execute the same, you can see over here this information. For John, you can see that the date of admission has been changed. Previously it was 1, 2, and here now it is 9 and 9. So what flexibility you are getting? See, right now what I'm doing, I'm continuously opening MySQL again and again for showing you the difference. But actually, or in the real life, from the front end only we are doing all the things. We never used to open backend. This is your backend actually. Okay, your RDBMS, your database is your actually considered as backend. So backend we generally don't use to open. Okay, and we are explaining to other users that how they are going to use the front end. We are giving them exe file of our language, of our program, and then they are simply using that exe file, or that our Python, the front end of whatever the language you have used. Okay, then once this is done, now we are going to use delete also. Last topic, but you have to do practice. Okay, for using delete, again the same information, copying and pasting, delete from, and what I wanted to delete, first record I wanted to delete. So delete from student, where name is equal to, not name, sorry. It is on the basis of SID. So SID is equal to 1. See, you have to observe everything minutely, that when I am writing 1, means integer type of information, I'm not writing it in that single quote or in the double quote. But if I'm writing any value as a string or as a date of admission, everywhere I have used single quote or double quote. Remember, you have to be very careful. If you are writing double quotes, you cannot write over here double quote. If double quote you are using outside, then single quote you will be using inside, and vice versa. If you are using triple single quote outside, then you use double quotes inside. Fine. So this is what you have to keep in your mind. So once we have deleted, then again I need to commit this, because as I said, these three are your DML command, because and we wanted to make changes permanent in the database. So therefore it is compulsory to use commit, db.commit. Okay, so when I will run this, now my first record must be also deleted. Executed successfully. Now if I will run this, you can see now only 4 records are there. First record has been deleted. Anyone, any doubt up to here? Then you let me know. Anyone, any doubt up to here? It means all clear. Okay. Again, I'm repeating. First 3 lines are, you have to remember, you have to use as it is. After that, it is your decision that how you wanted to write. See, I don't wanted to explain you more. If I'll explain you more, you will be confused. So better is whatever I have done, you do practice 2 or 3 times. I'm giving, today you do practice with the same table. Means you make student table only, you use these columns only. And if you wish to do more practice, you can create any another table, and then you can do all these practice. At least the output of today is that you must be able to create database, create table, insert records, update record, and delete record. Okay. And as I said, try to make menu driven programs and put all these different tasks in the different functions. Okay. And then show it to me. Okay, then good day all of you. Do practice and share the screenshots.